Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and Jared Feldman from the SVP of Operations at iTrust Capital went on with Thinking Crypto. Wanted to play
People
this.
think we don't want regulation. There's nothing that could be further from the truth. We want fair regulation. And if you look at the previous SEC administration, there was a lot of unfair regulation on the industry, and now we're seeing a lot of good common sense regulation, and it's leading to some amazing things, and we're going to see the market open up in so many ways. And the Genius Act certainly was a good first start for us to be able to get some actual legislation in the space. But I think the market infrastructure bill is going to be next level, and it's going to create a framework that will allow so many different companies, credit card companies, banks, non-banks, fintechs, to be able to participate in the space in a compliant way and give more people access to crypto. And then at the end, someone asked about crypto and he was like, well, it creates no value. And for me, that's like 2018 called and wants its narrative back, because there's so many just inherent value propositions for crypto. And the main ones are that it creates more transparency and democratization in all sorts of financial markets. It creates instantaneous liquidity and settlement, and it creates lower costs for getting in to markets, right? So not just transparency, but lower costs and faster settlement. And crypto allows you to do that at a fraction of the price. And just that in itself creates a lot of value for people.
So if you haven't, one of the best things I ever did was went and opened IRAs with iTrust Capital back in 2018-19. And then later this year, I went and opened a premium custody account when they opened that up to retail. You can do it too. You can get a $100 funding bonus as well. Just go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army, and you can just click there and open an account. The market's still kind of flat-ish. This morning, I just donated to John Deaton's campaign. He's running for senator against Ed Markey, the same Ed Markey who has never brought up Epstein until it was politically correct to do so in the last few months. I'll show you here in a minute about when John Deaton hit it. But we've come a long way in crypto, and we're going to get legislation, but we also need to entrench Congress with as many pro-crypto people as possible. And there's nobody that's more pro-crypto than John Deaton. John Deaton owns Bitcoin, XRP, and several others. He's always been, even when he was fighting with the XRP army on ETHgate and all of that, he always was very upfront about how he owned more Bitcoin than he did XRP. So he's the guy for everybody. And I know him personally, and I know that he is an honest guy, and he's a straight shooter, and he's a fighter. This guy, I would not want to mess with John Deaton, but I do trust John Deaton because he's lasted the test of time. If you want to donate, like I did, go to johndeatonforsenate.com. That's where you go do it. And you can donate tiny amounts if you want, but donate something, because this really matters. I mean, that Ed Markey guy has been one of these entrenched politicians for decades, I think. And he's right to be taken out. And I think John Deaton's going to do it. And this is just a little reminder. All the politicians on both sides of the aisle are now Epstein. But that took pressure from the public for decades. Well, John Deaton, he hit Senator Elizabeth Warren when he ran against her over Epstein publicly. I don't think I had ever seen any politician do that until John Deaton did it. This is the kind of guts that we want up at Congress. These guys like John Deaton. And boy, does he have some. History never repeats, but it often rhymes. Yesterday, Trump said this.
We have taken in trillions of dollars, and it's been absolutely amazing. We're going to be doing a dividend to the people low and middle income, moderate income people of at least $2,000. In addition to that, we'll be paying down debt very substantially. It's the kind of money we're taking in. And really, countries that took advantage of us are no longer taking advantage of us. Friends, some of our friends treated us far worse than our enemies on trade anyway, and we've got that all straightened out. And everybody's happy. They respect us again. You know, it's like one of those things. I think they like us better, and they actually respect us, and it works out much better for us.
Okay, let's remember, after the U.S. government began distributing the first round of COVID-19 stimulus checks in mid-April 2020, up to $1,200 per eligible adult under the CARES Act signed March 27, 2020, the cryptocurrency market experienced a dramatic and sustained bull run. This came on the heels of a sharp crash in mid-March 2020. Sound familiar? When Bitcoin hit a low of about 48.57 amid global pandemic fears, by late April, Bitcoin had rebounded above 8,600, crossed 10,000 in early May, doubled to around 20,000 by December 2020, soared to then all-time high of nearly 65,000 in April 2021, gain of over 1,200% from its March low. The influx of stimulus liquidity played a key role, with retail investors channeling portions of their payments into crypto, low interest rates, lockdowns boosting online trading, growing perceptions of Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. Research from Cleveland Fed found that stimulus checks increased Bitcoin trading volume by 3.8%. Guess what, folks? This time, by pure coincidence, with all of these positive waves, and I do mean massive waves that are coming, this time, you have XRP ETFs. You didn't have them last time. Timing's everything, folks. Lock in. Here's Trump, and I think that one of the waves that's coming is getting rid of the Federal Reserve Chairman and lowering interest rates.
Rates are down despite the Fed. I mean, Scott, you got to work in this guy. He's got some real mental problems. No, he's something wrong with him. It's just sweet. I'll be honest. I'd love to fire his ass. He should be fired. Guy's grossly incompetent, and he should be sued for spending
Okay, we don't need to hear the whole thing. I wanted to get to a lot of things. Warren Davidson says there's big news coming soon from Capitol Hill tomorrow about Bitcoin. Tomorrow being today. So, look, I believe that all of the Bitcoin lobby and all the politicians know that Bitcoin's time is coming to an end unless they create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. So it wouldn't surprise me. But I'll say this. If they do initiate a Bitcoin reserve, you can be sure, write it down, that the U.S. government created Bitcoin. Write it down. I think they did anyway. And here's Raoul Paul on where we are, folks. I'm telling you, just listen to what I'm going to say here. I have lived through every one of the ups and downs in crypto since 2014, okay? Every single one. And I'm telling you that all of them were scary. But this one is not scary at all to me, because this one, we are so much further along, and we have probably 5 to 20 of these tidal waves of good things coming for crypto right in front of us now. And the main one being crypto legislation. That's when it's on like Donkey Kong at that point. But they're all right, not far in front of us, they're right in front of us. None of them, I've never been more bullish in pullbacks than I am right now.
And we know that the TGA is going to be drained, and the QT is going to finish, and the Chinese are increasing their balance sheet, and we got regulatory changes coming, and we got rate cuts coming, blah, 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 blah. And the ISM, the business cycle, follows that. So the next thing for the business cycle is to go higher. Business cycle going higher means we'll have money in our pockets. It goes into risk assets, and that increases the price of crypto. It's not that complicated, but nobody wants to believe it because you're looking at 5-minute charts and scratching your nuts, wondering what's going on.
He is so right about that. So we've got Grayscale XRP Trust ETF is coming. Grayscale says it's coming. Then we've got Bitwise. Today is the day we're launching the Bitwise XRP. That is today, folks. Bitwise XRP ETF. It's a big step forward for XRP and the world's third largest crypto asset, which will be the number one, which aims to reshape the market for global payments. To mark this historic moment, we're hosting an X Live space It's got David Schwartz, Matt Hogan, and Eleanor Terrett. They'll discuss the wild journey to today, why XRP, what this means for the XRP army, how TradFi and global payments are changing the future of digital assets, what's ahead for Ripple. Set your reminder and join the conversation. That's at 2:30 p.m. today, Eastern Time. And look at the ticker they got. Talk about a valuable ticker. They've got the XRP ticker, folks. That's worth something. And here's Matt Hogan from Bitwise on what he sees coming.
What I'm most excited about, though, is the growth of index-based crypto ETPs. If you think of who is the next buyer of crypto, it's someone for whom crypto is a small part of their portfolio. They don't necessarily have an opinion on Ethereum versus Solana or Bitcoin versus another asset. They just want to buy a broad swath of the crypto market and hold it for the long term. So I'm excited about launches like Solana and XRP. There are a few more that I think will be really great. I think Chainlink will be an amazing launch. There are others coming down the pipe. But index ETPs, I think, will be one of the biggest stories of next year in crypto. And I think ultimately will be one of the biggest categories by which people invest. Of course, Bitwise has been running index funds for 8 years. So I'm speaking my book here. But I do think it's how the dominant way most people want to invest is just owning a basket of these assets and betting that in the future, this industry will be 10 times bigger than it is today.
There you go. Okay. And then Ashish Burla says, tune in tomorrow. When did he say this? This was yesterday. So today as well, you've got at 2 o'clock, you're going to have Evernorth with Hunter Horsley from Bitwise. So 2 and 2:30 are going to be two really good. I'm not sure where. Let me see if it says where they're doing this. Oh, it's going to be a Spaces as well. Boy, we're going to get some good information out of those two spaces. Why does he prefer? It says how did he snag the ticker XRP? So we'll find out. Then Vincent Van Code XRP ETF status update approved and trading or pending. Canary launched on November 13th. Bitwise launches today. Franklin Templeton is launching November 24th. Grayscale launching November 24th. Coming soon, 21 shares and coin shares. And somewhere in there, BlackRock is going to announce, in my opinion. And look at this. We'll finish right here. This is Reese Merrick from Ripple. And then the dominoes start to fall. The XRP dominoes, folks. We've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment since 2014. I told my wife in 2014, I literally looked at my wife and I said, because at the time I thought that crypto was just a new asset class. I didn't realize it was going to swallow all other asset classes at the time. I didn't even know what tokenization was back then. But I thought that it was going to be a new asset class. And I told her, if this is what I think it is, something crazy is going to happen with this. I said, there's a very good chance this is all a scam at that time. And I said, we could lose our money. But if I'm right, something crazy is going to happen. And I'm 1,000% more right than I thought I was. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com. We're going to talk about how does, that island guy, he's been being talked about all over social media now. And they're about to release all those files. And I've had some theories about that island guy as it relates to crypto for a long time. I'm not going to talk about it out here, but I'll talk about it in there. Go to DAIXRP.com for the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos. If you'd rather join through X, hit subscribe. We do the full video and the extended video with no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.